Hey everybody, it's Mickey, and in today's home reset video, I have some delicious winter freezer meals to share with you. I have a couple decor hauls that are just perfect to decorate for the upcoming season, and I'm sharing my planning stack for 2025. So if you are new here, I hope you'll take a minute to subscribe. I put out new videos every week about all things home. So we are going to start today in the kitchen. You know, winter is that perfect time of year to fill your freezer full of soup. So I have two recipes to share with you today that are our family favorites. They both freeze so well and heat up perfectly. One is full of veggies and you can feed a crowd. The other is that creamy, cozy deliciousness that you make right in your slow cooker. This first recipe is for crock pot potato soup. Now, I have shared this recipe before on my channel, but I just have not found one that is better than this. There is nothing more cozy than a big bowl of potato soup on a really cold day. This recipe is very simple to put together. You need your potatoes, you need 1 can of cream of chicken soup, you'll need like 2 cans of chicken broth or just one of these large containers, you'll need some diced onion, you'll need a bunch of seasonings. I like to use my favorites. I put a lot of pepper in there, garlic powder, a little minced onion. I use some ranch seasoning in there as well, and I also add a little bit of red pepper flakes to give it a little bit of a kick. And then you're going to need a block of Philadelphia cream cheese. Now, you're not going to put this in your soup until it's about a half hour before it's done cooking. So you're going to want to leave this out on your counter so it gets nice and room temperature. So I'm just going to toss all this stuff in the crock pot and then I am heading out the door. So before you get started, you're going to want to spray your crock pot with some non-stick cooking spray, and then you are going to add your package of diced hash browns. I've had these in my refrigerator overnight and they seem to be pretty well thawed. And you're going to toss in your onions and mix that up so everything is distributed pretty well there. And then we are going to add our can of cream of chicken soup. Now, if you have a big group to feed, this is one of those recipes that really does go a long way because you can put out like all those different bowls of toppings, you know, like bacon and cheese, sour cream. This really makes a great soup for a crowd. So if you double it, you just simply double all of the ingredients. So I have my cream of chicken in there, and then we're going to add about, let's see, 24 ounces of some chicken broth. So that's probably about half of this container. You can always add more at the end of cooking if, you know, if you think that the soup is too thick. So let's mix that up really well. And then we're going to season this. I have some dry ranch seasoning. I'm just going to probably add about a tablespoon to the top here. Some garlic powder. Lots of pepper. I don't add salt to this because of the chicken stock and the cream of chicken soup. You can really add it at the end if you think it needs a little bit more salt. I'm also going to add some minced onion because I only had about a half of fresh chopped onion in there. Of course, some Mrs. Dash. And then a good sprinkling of some red pepper flakes. So I'm going to mix this up really well. Now I usually start this off on high for an hour, but I'm going to be out of the house, so I'm just going to set this on low because I'm not quite sure how long I'm going to be gone today. So when I come home, I might turn it up depending on, you know, just how long I've been gone. So we are going to cover this. And set it on low. So it's been about 3 hours or so since I had my potato soup cooking. We're going to give it a little bit of a stir here. And you're going to want the diced potatoes to start to get a little mushy. So at this point, I think we are ready to add the cream cheese. So I have the cream cheese here that has come to room temperature, and I just kind of split it up in little chunks, and I'm just going to add these to the crock pot and let them melt and cook for about another 30 minutes. So it has been about 30 minutes and we're going to give our soup a good stir. This really does get thick, so you're going to want to add more chicken broth or even milk to this to get it to the consistency that you want. Also, when you take the soup out of the freezer later on and allow it to thaw, once you heat it up, you're going to want to add more liquid to it again to get it to the consistency that you like. I like to put my soup in either a Ziploc freezer bag or in small serving containers in the freezer so we can just pull them out as we need them for a quick dinner on a busy night. So today we are going to be making something that my kids have lovingly referred to as cowboy stew. Now, when they were really young, if I attached the word cowboy to just about anything that I served them, they would eat it up like nobody's business. And this recipe is such a good one because there are a ton of vegetables in it, and it is such a delicious recipe that I know your family is going to love this. So this recipe was inspired by something that I saw on the Food Network like years and years ago. I don't even know whose show it was on, but I thought it was such a great idea to add and kind of hide a lot of veggies in a meal so the kids would eat it. And in this recipe, you are going to need carrots, celery, potatoes. You can use any kind of potato you like. I really like to use red potatoes because you can just chop them up, you know, with the skin on them. You're going to need a yellow, green, and red bell pepper. You're going to need some onions. You'll need some crushed tomatoes, a little bit of tomato paste. You'll need a container of beef broth, and you are going to use 2 pounds of ground beef. Now, normally in almost every recipe I make that calls for ground meat, I substitute ground turkey. This is one of the few recipes that I do actually stick to ground beef for. I think that it really does complement the flavor of this recipe, and it just goes so deliciously with the tomatoes and all the veggies. So let me show you how we make it. One of the things that I like most about this recipe is that there is a lot of chopping involved, and I find it very therapeutic to chop a lot of vegetables. So the first thing that we are going to do to prep our veggies is to give them a good wash, and then we are going to chop them. I like to set up 2 bowls. The first bowl is going to be for the onion, garlic, and celery, and then the second bowl is going to be for our red, yellow, and green bell peppers. Chop your potatoes into small diced pieces. These will cook much quicker in your stew. In a large stock pot, add a tablespoon of olive oil and a little bit of butter and start to brown your ground beef. When the beef is about 3/4 of the way cooked, you can start adding your veggies. Start with your onions, celery, and garlic, and then slowly add your carrots, green, yellow, and red bell peppers. Once the veggies are starting to soften up a little bit, then you can add your can of crushed tomatoes and your package of beef broth. Also add a heaping tablespoon of tomato paste and mix well. Allow the liquid to come up to temperature and then add your potatoes. I like to add a lot of garlic powder to this stew. I just think garlic makes everything taste better. You're also going to add some Mrs. Dash, dried parsley, some basil, salt and pepper, and red pepper flakes to taste. Let this all come to a boil and then cook until your potatoes and carrots are soft. Re-season as needed and let cool before you put into your freezer containers. I like to serve this stew topped with a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese and some fresh parsley, always with a biscuit or a really nice piece of garlic bread. To reheat after being in the freezer, you're going to want to thaw this soup overnight in the refrigerator. Now it will be a little bit thick, so you're going to want to add a little bit of liquid, either water or beef will be fine. So I've started gathering together some of the things that I want to use to decorate for Valentine's Day. I decided this year that I am going to concentrate all of the traditional Valentine's Day colors here in the dining room. I'm going to be having a little Galentine's lunch, and I thought it would be really fun to do the dining room up really bright and red with traditional Valentine's Day decor. But in the rest of the house, I want to keep it really neutral. So I went out looking for neutral Valentine's Day decor and basically found nothing. I mean, I'm not surprised. Red is the traditional color, and I guess I just have to use my imagination a little bit. So here I have some things that I just picked up that I'm going to share with you, and then I have some things over here that I'm going to share with you that are going to be little DIY projects that I'm going to do to add just a little, Valentine's Day touch to the rest of my home. So first I want to share with you what I found at Target. The first thing I found were these adorable little kitchen towels. I thought these were just so simple and so cute. They just have little hearts all over them, and the background isn't really white. It's more of like a creamy ivory, which I thought was really different. It has a trim of these larger red hearts around, and I just thought these would be perfect for my little lunch that I'm going to have with my friends. I got 4 of them, and I'm going to use them as napkins. What I like to do, I like a very generous napkin, so I often use small kitchen towels or tea towels because I like the size of them. I think that they really cover your lap really well to catch anything that should fall, and I thought these would be perfect for a little lunch. And then I found this table runner. Now, how cute is this? It has such an adorable scalloped edge to it, and the heart pattern matches back to the little towels here. This was, let's see, it's from Threshold, and it was just $15. Let me see how much these towels were. Oh, the towels were only $3 a piece, which I think is really inexpensive for something that I can use, every year at Valentine's. But now this table runner I love so much, again, because it's not on a white background. It has that more like creamy ivory, which really is what I use a lot in my decorating. I think it's just not as harsh as really bright white, especially when you're putting it up against red. So I got the towels that I'm going to use as napkins and this really adorable table runner. And then while I was there, I found these heart-shaped dishes. I have a collection of heart-shaped dishes that I've gotten over the years that I use for like appetizers and things like that, but they're much smaller. So this is a really nice size little heart plate. These were from Threshold as well, and I can't see the price on these. I'll have to look it up and see what the price of these are, but I thought they were a really nice size. You can do like a little salad on here. You can do your roll with butter, whatever you're going to do for your dinner or for lunch, or however you want to use them. So again, I got 4 of them, so they'll be perfect to put at each place setting. In my last video, I shared with you those lanterns that I got at Walmart, and I had said I'll probably go back and get a couple more. So I did go back and I got 2 more of these Better Homes and Garden. They're calling them hurricane lanterns. I love these. I think they are so pretty. This time around I got a large one, and then I got the medium size again, and I love them. I think that they are just a basic piece that you can use on your tables. You can put them on side tables. I love to use lanterns, like even just on the floor in the corner. You know, you can decorate them with some florals or a bow. I just think that they are so invaluable to decorate your home with. And these are so simple. They were very inexpensive. And if you can't find them in store, I know that they are available online too. So I will be sure to leave links to these down below. I just love them. I love the sizes of them. I think they're going to be really great for a table centerpiece that I want to create here on the table, and they will go with, you know, the color scheme for Valentine's Day. So let's talk a little bit about some neutral Valentine's Day decor. Like I said, I found nothing online. I did see a couple things on Amazon, but honestly, they were so simple I could have easily made them myself. So what I think I'm going to do is I have a set of these wooden slices, I just call them. I think I found these. Quite honestly, I'm not really sure where I found these, but I use these a lot for ornaments, you know, just for hangers for, you know, the holidays. I've even used these as gift tags in the past. So what I wanted to do is just add a little heart here. I have a black heart with a heart that's also cut out of some old, you know, book pages. I just wanted it to be really simple. So with these, I'm going to do a couple hangers. One, of course, for my kitchen table. I have a lantern just like this on my kitchen table. I want to add a little bow and then just have this disc hung from the bow just to give it, you know, a little wink to Valentine's Day. I think I'm also going to try to put together a little garland for my fireplace. I was looking for something with maybe just tan hearts or white hearts, and everything that I came across just wasn't what I was looking for. So I thought I would make a bunch of these and just string them together with some jute twine and create a little garland on my own. So we are going to be doing this decorating in the next video after this one. So I hope you will come back and watch that one and decorate with me. So the other things that I had made was just, I have so many little signs for, you know, the different holidays and everything. So what I like to do is I like to use them for, you know, as much as I can. So I just put in a piece of cardstock, or in this case, I'm using a page from a book, and I just added a very neutral color heart to it, and I just tied some jute twine on it. I'm probably going to hang this from my little pegboard in the kitchen. We'll figure out where it goes next week, but I thought this was something very simple and just really cute with that little wink to Valentine's Day. So the other thing that I made so far was just this little wooden house. This is something that I think I picked up at Hobby Lobby probably in the fall, and I'm just adding a very simple cardstock heart to it and just tied a bow around it, and it's very simple. So I'm going to add this to my 2-tiered trays. So I have plans to make a bunch of other neutral Valentine's Day decor items that I'm going to try to get them all done this week so we can decorate the house next week for Valentine's Day. If you guys have been watching for a while, you know that planning is a huge part of my day-to-day life. It is one of the tools that I use to stay organized, to, you know, just stay on top of day-to-day activities, events, chores, and it is one of the big tools that I use to help with stress and anxiety. And I have been asked over the last month what my planner stack looked like for 2025. So it is almost the end of January, and I have been using my current system for about a month, and I really love it. I think it's going to be something that is going to easily carry me through to the end of the year. So I thought I would take the opportunity to share it all with you guys. I'm going to try to share as many links to anything that I mentioned here in the description box down below for you, so you can check them out for yourself and see if it's a tool that can help you, you know, just stay on top of life. Now, I have always been that kind of person that has to have a calendar and notebook with them. I need a constant to-do list and some place that I can just take notes throughout the day and just carry with me, mostly as kind of like my my security blanket, so to speak. So I need something that I can put in my bag or in my purse so that I can have it with me at all times. So like for the last several years, I have used traveler's notebooks, and for the last couple years, this is the one that I have been taking with me wherever I go, and I just love it. The only problem is it is pretty bulky. It's kind of heavy. I have several notebooks in here, and although I love it, I thought that I can probably do a little better. So the first planner in my planner stack that I'm going to be using as my everyday go with me planner is the Hobonichi Weeks. Now I'm going to put the rest of these aside so I can bring you in a little bit so you can take a look at it. So my take along planner for 2025 is going to be the Hobonichi Weeks. I have been using the Hobonichi Cousin as my weekly planner, everyday planner for the last year, and I just love it. I love everything about it. I love the layout, I love the paper, and I just love the size. So the Hobonichi Weeks is a very slim line planner. As you can see, even with my cover on it, it's pretty much the size of a large wallet, which really fit very easily into my purse. So inside my cover here, I have just the Hobonichi Weeks. I also have a little to-do list notebook from Light's Planner Action that I have tucked into the side, and it just has a place for me to write down any, you know, to-dos that I need to go when I am out on my weekly errands and places that I need to go. So I love the fact that I can just tuck this in here and always have it to reference back to. So the Hobonichi Weeks in itself is a great little planner. Of course, it has your monthly layout, it has your weekly layouts, which I really like because it has a small space here for you just to write your most important things. Maybe an appointment you need to go to, if you're going to a certain store, maybe a couple things you need to pick up. And what I really like about this, it has a blank page next to it so that you can add your own to-dos. And with any of my planners, I am a big sticker girl. I think that for some people, stickers probably seem really silly, but for me, I am very sticker motivated. It just helps me prepare for my week, and it just helps me to look forward to using my planner. So when I set it up, I have my days of the week to this side, and then I create a to-do list on this side. I do this usually on Sunday, and I create my to-do list, so as I go through the days and when I'm out and about, I can check off my to-dos as I go. So I have been using this for all of January, and I just love the convenience of it. I love how easily I can just grab it, you know, put a couple dollars here in the cover, and I can run into it to the store. So far this has worked out so well, and I just love using it. So for my everyday home planner, this is where I put all of the doctor's appointments, all the you know, family get-togethers, any event, any vacation, pretty much anything else is in this planner. And again, this year I'm going to be using the Hobonichi Cousin. Like I said, I used it all of 2024 and I absolutely loved it. I think that this is just the perfect size for me. I like the way that it is laid out. And again, I really am a big planner and sticker girl, and it allows me to use my stickers to my heart's content. So one of the reasons I think I like using the Hobonichi Weeks and Cousin so much is the book is set up in a way like my brain works. I am somebody, I like to put things into compartments, and both the Weeks and the Cousin is set up in that same type of way. So in the beginning of the book, you have all of your month layouts all together in the beginning. So you have month after month here. All of your months are together in one spot. That's really great for referencing. It's really great for planning projects or events. I really love that aspect of it. And then it has all of your weekly layouts together. And I like the size. It's an A5 book. There's not a lot of open space here, so it's just enough space for me to use, you know, as my day-to-day planner. I work very infrequently these days, so in this book is mostly just family business, appointments, events that are coming up, things that we are planning to do. I have it set up in such a way that each day I add like the top priorities for that day, or the things that I really, really want to get done. And then the rest of the body of the days are for, you know, appointments, places I need to go, something I need to do. And then I always like to set myself up with a weekly to-do list at the end of the week, you know, on the weekends here, because if we have anything big planned, it's going to be able to, you know, just add that to the top of my day. And then in the back, it has the daily pages, and I love the fact that it has a large daily page that you can pretty much use for whatever you need. I have journaled on these pages. I use these for projects. I like to use these for lists or packing lists, maybe for a trip that's coming up. I just think that they are very useful. I like the amount of space that is there, and I like too that these pages are all dated, so to go back and look something up makes it super easy to do. So this is going to be year 2 with my Hobonichi Cousin. I'm really excited about using it. Like I said, I love the way that it is set up. I love the paper. I love pretty much everything about this book. So I'm going to leave a link for you down below as to where I purchased my planner this year, all of my covers, and even the stickers that I have on top. So the last book in my stack for 2025 is my journal. And again this year I am going to be using the Erin Condren Horizontal Life Planner. I have used this the last couple years, and I just think that it is perfect for journaling. The horizontal setup just allows you to have a little bit more space to write, and it also just has a natural spot to put photos in. You know, I use my IV Canon to print out pictures from my phone, and they just fit so perfectly in these little spots. And you know, some days you don't have much to say, and you know, some days you have a lot to say, and this just kind of allows you to the space that you need to just get your words down on paper. So for the monthly layout, I like to use this section as a place for me to write down my daily gratitude. I think that gratitude is one of the most important aspects of life. I think that it allows you to see the joy in every day and the joy in just the simple things in life. So every month I set it up and I line my little squares here so I have space to write and everything's all nice and neat. And this has worked out so well for me because, you know, we all deal with really good days and really bad days. And I think that it's important to find something even in those bad days to be grateful for. And I think that constant reminder of the goodness in your life really does help you deal with the stresses and the anxiety of everyday life. So if you are someone who deals with a lot of anxiety like I do, I really highly recommend journaling. I think that it is one of the most important tools that you can use to help you work out that anxiety. It is something that I have used on and off throughout the years. There was a particularly difficult period of time where I did not journal. I just couldn't do it. And I really wish that I had, because I think it would have benefited me not only for that time, but for the time in the future to look back on. And so if you are looking for something to help you with stress, give journaling a try. Whether you talk about your day or you use journaling prompts, I think that is just such an important practice to do. So I will get off my little soapbox here about journaling, but I do think that it's really important. So for my journal for 2025, again, like I said, I am using the Erin Condren Horizontal Life Planner. So those are the planners that I am going to be using this year to just help me get through my days. And like I said, I will put links to everything that I mentioned for you down below. If you have any questions about planning or journaling or anything, leave them in the comments section down below. If you guys are interested, I can do another video or two about journaling. I have a whole book full of journaling prompts that I use you know, throughout the weeks to kind of get like your thoughts flowing a little bit. So we can talk about that in another video if you're interested. So just check the description box down below for any links mentioned in today's video. So thank you so much for watching today. There's a bunch of things in the description box down below for you. The recipes are there, links are there for anything mentioned in today's video. Join our communities over on Facebook and Instagram at My Bashful Life, and please don't forget to subscribe. I would love to have you all back as part of our YouTube family. So until I see you in that next video, I hope that you love the life that you have, be kind to each other, stay safe, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.